Look, the reality is no matter what business you're in, what organization you're in, all of us are in the trust business. We're in a moment now where people don't trust the media. They don't trust elected officials. So all of us have to work so much harder, not only to build the trust in the organizations in which we're working, but also in the communities with which we're working. Hi, I'm Danny Harris, Executive Director of the Socrates Program, and here are some of the things that I've learned about leadership. To be a leader, you have to listen, and that means you have to put yourself in dialogue. You have to go in, and whether it's just paying attention to what's happening around you when you're outside of the office, to when you're in the office or when you're in meetings, of being in dialogue, of being open to conversation, being open to listen. And it's not when the other person is talking, you're thinking already about what it is that you're going to say, but to actually listen and to take in new information points and figure out how that might change or not your perspective. So dialogue is the center of everything, not only that we do at Socrates and at Aspen, but to be a good leader, you must constantly be in dialogue. To do so, it means that you're growing, you're learning, and also your organization and your business will only be more successful. For almost 30 years, the Socrates Program has brought leaders all across the fields, from all across the world together to have hard conversations about current topics, whether it's looking at a decision that a president made or didn't make, to thinking about the future of space or ethics. It's having hard conversations, and it's bringing people in, and a huge part of leadership is to accept that invitation, to not only accept the humility of what you don't know, but to take the time to listen and to consider changing your opinion. It doesn't mean you have to leave and be a completely different person. It means that you can take something and just keep asking the question, why? I say for myself that one of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned was being the father to children, because my kids will ask the question why a million times. So it gets you to that point where you start to reimagine and reassess some basic things that you have stopped asking questions about. So every leader needs to ask that question, why? Not once, not 10 times, but 100 times. Why are you doing this? Why are you taking this position? I used to run a transportation advocacy group in New York City. New York City is not an easy place to get anything done, whether it's working with New Yorkers or working with the city of New York. And one of the critical pieces that I learned, especially as a leader, is that you have to create a vision of the promised land for people. And in many cases, that vision can't be so far into the future that people can't hold on to it. So much of what we built and so much of what I learned about leadership was how do we create a version of the city that people can live in, that they can see themselves in. This isn't some future rendering that's generations down the line. This is what you could actually have today. And when you can create something that becomes irresistible, that people feel that they want to be a part of, that's when you start to capture them in and bring them as part of that journey. So to be a leader, it's to be ahead, but not too far ahead. Because you always have to remember that you need to bring people along with you.